Hello and welcome to another World of Warships with me, Bubblebox, and today we're moving on to have a look at the Tier 3 St. Louis class cruiser from the USA. And firstly, let me say that I really like playing this ship in the game, even though it's quite slow for a cruiser, and I'll explain why as we briefly go through the statistics and then have a look at a game that I played. First of all, survivability. It's got a combat capability or a hit point of, or armor value, whatever you want to call it, of 29,500. Now this is really high for a tier 3 cruiser. In fact, it's equal, I don't even it's better than, but it's certainly equal to some of the tier 3 battleships that are in the game, and it's much better than the tier 3 class Japanese cruiser, the Tenryu. So very well armored and can take on anything kind of on a one-on-one basis, whether it's tier 2, tier 3 and sometimes even tier 4. Very well armoured. Now the reason it can take them on, it's got some awesome artillery as well. A point value of 50, which is really good again for a tier 3 ship. The main battery's firing range is 10.4 kilometers, which is pretty decent for a tier 3 ship again, and its guns unusually are kind of scattered around inside the hull, and it kind of reminds me a little bit, or most of them are, and it kind of reminds me a little bit of one of those old galleons with all the cannons poking out of the side of the ship. And this one has got 14 152mm guns, and I would advise you just splatter that HE ammo, set the enemy on fire. You know, you've got a good chance of setting it on fire with the amount of shells you're going to be firing at the enemy. And the chances of fire are 7%. I guess that's per shell, and not per all the shells firing at once. The rate of fire is also pretty high at 7.5 rounds per minute. You can fire AP shells as well, again at the lower tier ships which aren't that well armoured. I have rightly or wrongly been tending to just use HE ammo with this particular ship. So that's the armaments. It's got a few secondary armaments as well in case you get up and close and personal with any destroyers or anything. So that's the artillery, really high, again as good as the really you can take on those tier 3 battleships with this ship. You really can. AA guns, well, nothing really to speak of, nothing decent that is. It's got 8 little kind of Gatling gun type things, but again, you're not really, unless you come up against you might come up against some aircraft, I suppose, if you get into a battle with some tier 4 aircraft carriers, but these things aren't really going to come into play much with this particular ship. Now then, we get on to manoeuvrability, and of course, because this thing is well armoured and because it is got a lot of guns, it is quite heavy, and this lets it down a little bit in the manoeuvrability estate, but only really in the speed. Speed's fairly low, 22.4 kilometers. Turning circle radius is fairly high at 450 meters, but the rudder shift time isn't too bad, so you can turn reasonably well, although it does handle a little bit more like a battleship than it does a cruiser, and it's certainly not going to be as maneuverable as the Tenryu class Japanese cruiser. Concealment, well, not too important on a tier 3 cruiser, I suppose. You're going to be detected at 11 Ks anyway. So in summary, really, this is a cruiser, but it's kind of halfway between a cruiser and a battleship. Like all the American cruisers, firepower high, doesn't have any torpedoes like the Tenryu class Japanese tier 3 cruiser has torpedoes, of course, but then that's much more lightly armoured and faster, I guess. So that's it really. It's really good fun to play this one because of all the guns, and we'll get into some gameplay now and see what that looks like. Now in this particular battle we are up against, I didn't show the opening screen, but we're up against all tier 2 and tier 3 battleships. A couple of battleships, that is. Lots of tier 2 and tier 3 cruisers, and some tier 2 and tier 3 destroyers. So we're starting off kind of in the middle. So what we're going to do, we'll get up to full speed, and then we'll turn and we'll just go a bit side on and go over towards sea, and hopefully that destroyer over on the left will spot something for us and we can make a decision as to what we do. I've already spotted one of their destroyers in the middle. It's always good to know where the enemy destroyers are. And that's one thing I always look out for in games. See how many destroyers the enemy have got and try to find out, spot exactly where they are and remember where they are, so they don't sort of come up on you unknowingly, so you can plan your moves and that. Now, first thing I can see are 3 cruisers, St. Louis, St. Louis and a Chikuma over on the left-hand side, sorry, and there's a little destroyer there just popped up between B and C. Now we have got a destroyer going up towards those cruisers, getting a bit close. I'm not sure what type of destroyer that is, and we're going to try and take a quick shot just to get our range against this cruiser. We've got 2 other cruisers, so they're going to back us up, so it's a fairly evenish kind of fight, but we have got that destroyer, and once I've got my range, I'll fire some shots and get some hits, hopefully. Yep, get some hits. As he just starts to turn away, I'll get another salvo off. That's just gone a bit right, actually. Yeah, they all missed, unfortunately. Just try and get a shot over the mountain before we go. And there's another cruiser just following up behind. So I'll keep going in this direction. You can see the amount of guns I've got trained on this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guns trained up on the ships. And it must be quite frightening for the opposition, if there's such a thing as frightening in a virtual game, when you've got all these guns firing upon you. So we're going to just wait for that cruiser to pop out. There is another cruiser having some shots at us, but just missing at the rear of our ship there. So it should come out eventually. This thing is a bit slow, so it does sometimes take a little while to get into position, but we can get some shots off there. Now he's already in fire, and he's being shot at by both of our other cruisers, it looks like. A little bit early there, got a few hits. Both of our other cruisers on my left. So we're just going to get another salvo off against this guy. Beautiful. So we kind of stole the kill there a little bit, although we did a bit of damage ourselves, so could say we might deserve it. And we'll just turn just slightly and keep going over to the left of the map. We've still got 2 cruisers in front. We've got a destroyer getting really close. I don't know what he's doing, quite what he's doing over there, that close to the cruisers, I'm sure. But it looks like he's going to let some torpedoes. There they go. Just saw them come out the side of the ship, side of his destroyer there. That was quite cool. As he got destroyed himself. But those torpedoes, did they hit? I think they hit. Yeah, they did hit, of course, and they took that ring right down. I can get a couple of salvos off and we steal the kill from that poor destroyer that sacrificed himself for the cause there. So we've got ourselves a couple of kills already, and we'll continue to move forward now because we've still got 2 of our cruisers ahead of us, and we can start peppering this guy now, who's a little bit distant. Quite slowly. I hope they hit. Yeah, they should hit. Nice. No fire this time. Well, only one hit, in fact. Now, there are 3 cruisers over there now, and only 2 of us. We've lost one of our cruisers, so I do have to be a little bit careful. I'm going to have to turn as well, so I'm going to lose some of my firepower here as that other ship goes down. We didn't get the kill that time, but we'll just concentrate fire now on this other cruiser that's just sitting behind. Although we're a little bit too far away to hit it. I don't know, that was just a terribly aimed shot there. But I'm just trying to get my ship round now, so we can get broadside on again. That other cruiser, our other cruiser that's ahead of us, has just gone a bit too far forward in my opinion, and I can see in B we've got a couple of destroyers encroaching on our space as well. So we're getting round now, getting our guns to bear on this other cruiser, and should get some shots off. I'm just going to wait until I'm fully lined up, so that I don't encourage him to fire at us until I have to. Nice salvo, that looks pretty well aimed. Yep, we've set him on fire as well, done some damage to his guns. And that's what I like about this ship. It's got so many guns that you can kind of damage the opposition and set them on fire relatively easily with the amount of shells you land on their ship. So he's just turning now, which is I fired that salvo off, trying to dodge us a little bit. Why he's turning? If I was him, I would have stayed side on because I'm side on. But I am now 2 against 1, which is a bit risky. I haven't actually taken any damage yet, which is unbelievable. But I guess they will start firing on me as they are doing right now. But there are 2 of them. But why maybe he's not. I'm not quite in range or something. I don't know. This is kind of at the limit of the range. Well, 7.6k. I should be in range of him. But now he's turned side on, and as he just slips behind, luckily for me, slips behind a mountain just as he gets his guns trained on me. So we'll pop out of the other side and we'll target this other guy. that's again steaming towards me rather than parallel to me. So we should get all our guns trained on this guy as soon as we get a look at him. I don't know what's happened to those other 2 destroyers. In fact, there's only 1 destroyer left for the opposition. So one's gone down. But yep, there he is. He's getting, again, he's firing two of his guns at me, and I'm firing all my guns at him. So that gives me the advantage against this guy. Although the other cruiser has just popped out from behind the... there it is. It's just popped out from behind the mountain and is firing at me as well. But it's going back quickly, so it's going to disappear behind the other mountain as I get some more shots just over the top. This guy not managing to hit, unfortunately. But again, that one's going to disappear behind the rock, and the other one is going to appear outside, just to the other side of the rock here at sea. And again, we've got all our guns trained on him. We haven't taken too much damage yet, so we're doing really well. The team's doing good as well. And there he is, firing at me, and he's taking a little bit of health away from me, but we've taken just as much away from him. Again, doing some damage to his guns as he just disappears behind that island. I'm not sure if they'll go over. No, they just hit the top, unfortunately. As the other one pops out. Now, this one is really close. So this is going to be a duel to the death. We're parallel to each other, and we're just going to slug it out until one of us dies. Now, he is on fire already, and he's just put that fire out. So he's used his repair, so I just need to set him on fire again. And there's another ship. That battleship just behind me is firing upon him as well. That's really going to help me out. And I've set him on fire again. So now he's not going to be able to put that out. He seems to have slowed down as well. I might have hit his rudder. Or his propeller rather. Or his propulsion system. And he has definitely stopped there. I don't know whether he's actually run aground or whether he's just stopped. Oh, he's just moving slightly now. But I'm getting some nice hits on this guy as he goes down. Didn't get the kill that time. Looks like the destroyer got the kill, but we did our bit for that one, so it makes up for the stills we got earlier. And the other cruiser pokes his header back out from behind now. And we've got a big battleship at the back there as well. But we'll concentrate on the cruiser, on the fast-firing cruiser, who's not actually firing at us. He's firing at the other cruiser in the distance. So I'll try and set this guy on fire again. He's taken a lot of fire from two. He's taken fire from two cruisers, and I think that destroyer's firing at him as well as he goes down. Didn't get that kill. So now they've only got 1 ship left, and it's this guy. We're actually on fire ourselves now. We'll just put that out as soon as just our repairs just ready. There's a torpedo running past. He's just managed to dodge that. We just need to get all our firepower down on this guy now. Try to end this game. There's more torpedoes flashing past him. We've managed to set him on fire. Another full salvo. Nice. Took out a couple of his guns there. Another full salvo. 2 more torpedoes flash past. I really love this ship, the way it just fires. You can just keep firing and firing and firing. You don't have to wait for anything. It's got so many guns. He's getting really low health now. He's on fire. He's getting fired at from both directions. We've set him on fire again. Managed to take out another of his guns. More torpedoes flash by, and he will finally get the final kill. So there you have it, guys. The quite a nice little game there, showing this ship off to, I think, the St. Louis to the best of its abilities, I hope. And I hope you enjoyed the video. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this vid. Please do give us a like and comment and subscribe if you fancy it. And I'll see you in the next one.